line measurements for your walls, just to understand how many of that you need. So that then once you do have those quantities, then you can export all that work and combine it with estimation and pricing. And that gives you the cost. That's why estimators use quantity takeoff tools, because they're estimating a project. They're gathering quantities from, areas, lines, and counts, and then combining it with pricing, like unit pricing, to gather information about estimation.
Awesome.
That's basically what the quantity takeoff tool is. First things first, we use Google Chrome as the preferred browser of choice. It's what the development team utilizes to conduct testings and new updates in Togle. So we know it's perfectly stable. So going forward, whenever you're doing any type of work with Togle, make sure to utilize Google Chrome. Here at the top right, you could start a new project. So as soon as you get into Togle, this is a dashboard that you'll see. It's the project dashboard. This is where you can navigate through existing projects and even create a new one. So here at the top right, you can create a new one. So we'll name this.
And this was your home screen. Like when you logged in Togle, that's what you had.
Correct.
I'm gonna pull mine up on my other screen.
Yeah.
You see me looking away. I'm just trying to follow along. There you are.
So you create that project, and once you do create that project, you're sent directly inside the document management page. This is where you can create your sets and your folders. And so just to explain the sets, the set is just a grouping of drawings.
Okay.
So
usually it's on the same project, obviously. A set. Okay.
Right, so it goes project, and then inside your project you have different sets, and inside your different sets you have different folders.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the most common set would be design development. It's when the architect sends over the plans to the estimator, and then the estimator does initial estimates. So there's 50%. So no.
There we go.
Yeah, this isn't really what I was looking for, but so sometimes the architect will send out an initial set, and it'll be called 50% drawing. It'll be missing almost everything, like the dimensions. It'll be missing where the doors are going to be located. It's just literally the squares of what the rooms look like. And they're called 50% drawings because the architect is trying to give a head start to the estimator so that he can start building out this estimate. And once the architect gets to 75% drawings, then he'll send over the 75% drawings. And then it'll have a little bit more detail, like this is where the doors are located. This room is going to be receiving flooring. This room is going to be receiving wood flooring, LVT flooring, so on and so forth. And then you get to your 100% drawings. That's when everything is all detailed, and then that's when the estimator can go ahead and do another set of estimation. So that's the whole point of the drawing set.
Okay, that's awesome. Makes perfect sense. Basically, they send out the 50% so they can kind of get started. That's like the pre-con to the pre-con.
Exactly.
And there is different characteristics of sets as they're at those different levels, 50 and 75%. Like, will something at 50% absolutely not have flooring or whatever? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's just so that the architect can get like a rough
Yeah.
estimate.
So it's got the building and things like that. It just doesn't have the finer. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Let's see. I had a problem with this yesterday. I don't know why this happens. Oh, here it is. Okay. So you upload your drawings. And once you do so, okay, let's give this a few seconds. And when you're doing a sales demo, you kind of just go over like all the sexy tools just to gather, just to sell it. But
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like right now, we'd be telling them how fast it's doing this compared to Bluebeam, and also that it's going to be auto naming your drawings as it's uploading them.
that's right. So
So that's the first hour we save you with Toggle.
exactly. So this right here, when I grab this from the architect, you see it says architectural drawing 0156. So it makes it hard for the estimator to understand what exactly is inside this drawing. Like, okay, is this third floor? Is this fourth floor? So you see now that it's uploaded, you can see that it's fourth floor plan with the actual numbering as well. And then let's just go jump inside into one of these drawings.
And you uploaded that just from like, it's a PDF as a file on your computer somewhere, anywhere on your desktop or your email. You just drag it over.
Yeah, I didn't drag it over. I did this, which is the same thing. You can drag it over too, but I chose a file from my desktop. You can't see this on my screen, right?
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I need those.
So I just clicked on it and clicked open, but you can just drag as well. Works the same way.
Cool.
So now let's jump inside one of these drawings here. Cool. So this is where the actual estimation happens. So we went from creating the project to the document management where we uploaded our drawings, and now this is the canvas, which is where you do your drawings. Before you do any type of takeoff, it's very important, and the estimators are always so anal about this, that you have to make sure that you set the scale at the bottom left.
Okay.
If the scale is set incorrectly, everything that you've done will give you wrong numbers. So this is like a very crucial step in the estimation process.
Hey, let me ask you this: when it doesn't auto scale, which one of those like would be? I see there's like 20 or 30 of them there. Which one would you use normally? Like, what would be a normal?
Yeah. So the scales usually, like if we look at this drawing here,
Yeah.
the scale will usually look something like this.
And I've been in a demo before where Dylan has to like draw, because I pretty much attend every demo, and it's like he has to draw from door to door to get a known measurement.
That's right. So
If
there's
this doesn't have it or whatever, right?
Yeah. If there's no scale on the plan and there's no graphic scale either, and there's no dimensions, right? Those are the first three things you look at. Is there a scale? Is there a graphic scale? Is there any form of dimensions on the plans that I can reference? Okay, there's absolutely nothing. Then what we can do is zoom into the door, click on scale, and set scale manually. We know that typically in the US, the door width is 3 feet. So we can use that as a reference. And so, yeah, so it's very, very crucial that we set this correctly, because otherwise we'll get wrong.
Sorry to interrupt your flow, man. I just wanted to, that was one of the things I was curious about. Like, if you had to choose one of those, on the left, like, you know what I mean? Like, which one would you choose?
You can't really guess,
Okay.
because I'll show you what happens. So let me just click on area. So there's a standard king room here. I'm just going to grab everything, including the bathroom. And it gives us 312 square feet, which seems about right for a room.
Yeah.
Now, if I click this here, or I'll click this, let's see. Right, I click 1 inch equals 1 foot.
Yeah.
Now it gives me 3 square feet.
Oh, it'll definitely jack you up, huh?
Yeah, so you can't really guess. Like, if I put this here, it'll give me 1,250.
Okay. I was confused, like, since I seen the list of them, like, oh, are you supposed to click the one? Like, it does it automatic. It's choosing it automatic. It's just showing you.
Yeah, it chooses it automatically because it's reading this. So it'll go, like, the text, the whole plan, it finds where exactly the scale is. It's like, okay, it's right here.
Cool.
So it inputs it for you.
Likes to
But
read
if
and
it's not
quantify,
there,
huh?
then you'll have to set it manually.
With the door
And
deal.
setting it manually looks like this. Like, you can use either this scale here. Usually they'll have a graphic scale where you can click and then click here and then set this to 24 feet. This is the graphic scale. Or you can also, like you said, search up a door here, set scale manually, and then zoom in as much as possible to be precise. There you go. And then enter this as 3 feet and click save. So that's for the scale.
Sweet, man. Sorry to hold you up.
Yeah, nah, man, it's all good. Like I said, it's gonna take some time, like, you know, learning this, but you know, we'll get some more sessions next week and keep going.
Sure.
But so there's 2 different ways to do takeoff here in Total. We can either create this classification manually and do the takeoff manually, or we can use the AI outputs. And so to create a manual classification, it's located right here in your quantities panel in this plus sign. And there's only 3 different classifications that you can create in any type of takeoff software. You can only create an area, a linear, and a count classification. Areas are used more for like ceilings, slabs, floors, and then linear classifications are used for walls, and counts are used to count like windows, doors, fixtures. Maybe you're in a parking lot and you need to count the stripings or the bollards or whatever the case may be. So you create an area classification, and once you do so, you enter your name here. So for example, if this is carpet, enter carpet, change your color and your pattern as you'd like. And here's your output quantity. This is very important. So this will be the data that will be generated for the area classification for your carpet. So in other words, once you're creating these polygon areas like the one we did here, it'll get the area in square feet for you. If you need the perimeter for perhaps your baseboards or your wall piece, then you can get that perimeter as well. Maybe what you're dealing with is not even carpet, right? This is just an example, not to confuse you. Maybe what you're dealing with is slab on grade. And slab on grade, it's for foundation plan. So slab on grade is essentially, we'll go, this right here. So it's the foundation of a house.
Sure.
And that's where like the rebar goes, and it's a bunch of concrete. So if you're dealing with slab on grade, you're not looking for the perimeter. That's useless for you.
Right.
You'd be looking for the volume in cubic yards of your concrete.
For Crete, yeah.
So the whole point of this output quantity is to change these parameters to find specifically what it is you're looking for.
To fit that specific classification. Cool.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That man, you're a good teacher. That clears a lot up. I was scrolling through that, like, man, why would you want different? But it changes per the, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And you, as the estimator, have to change this. It's your responsibility to say, okay, I'm dealing with carpet. Why would I need volume?
That's why you're still learning the job. Like when we sell it, we're like, hey, you're still learning the job. There it is. Yeah.
Yep. So now we can go ahead and click save here. Once you do click save on a classification, there's 4 different shapes that you can create. You can either create a polygon, an arc, a rectangle, or a circle. Polygon is just you clicking away at these points. however you like. Right. And then here's your value, right? 332 square feet of carpet. And you might be asking yourself, so where's the perimeter? And usually it's hidden, so you have to grab this quantity panel, drag it over to the left, and there it is. 85 linear feet of perimeter for our baseboards. And then, of course, you can create an arc, a rectangle, circle, any of these others. So now let's go ahead and add a new classification, and let's create a linear classification. This time, we're going to create one to understand our wall paint. And the way the estimators do it, they like to put wall paint, but also enter in the height of this wall in the name, so you can distinguish between your different linear classifications that you have with different heights. So typically for wall paint, we're going to be looking for our length in linear feet, for our crown base, our wall base or our crown molding, and then our vertical area on one side. So this is what's going to give you the square footage of your walls. And this is a little bit more advanced, but in Togo we can even add custom formulas. And this is where you would hit equals space, our quantity 2, which is right here, the vertical area on one side. This is the square footage of your walls. Divided by, yeah, there you go, 350. 350 is the amount of square feet that you're going to paint for a wall for 1 gallon of paint to go empty.
Okay.
So after we paint a wall 350 square feet, 1 gallon of paint will go empty. So this unit of measurement will be our gallons.
Hold on 1 second.
And it's
making sure Dylan don't need me somewhere at 9. 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Sorry. Just gonna. We got a demo at 9. I don't know if he needs me there or not. I don't think he does. But if you got to hop off at 9, that's cool too.
Yeah, I do. I have another.
Okay, good. Then I won't. Never mind.
Yeah. It shouldn't take too long anyway.
Yeah, no, you're good.
So, once you do have your vertical area on one side in square feet, it's very important that you input a height. If you don't, then Togo's not going to understand, okay, you do have your length, your horizontal length, but what's your height? If you don't have your height, it's
Yeah,
not
you
going to
can't get it.
all of this square footage of the areas. So let's go ahead and enter 9 feet, save. Now, just to save some time, let's make this big here. So 130 linear feet, 1,167 square feet of wall surface area, and 3 gallons of paint. And just to visualize this is what it would look like. So all this surface area here is 167 square feet, and it's going to take 3 gallons of paint for this painter to paint all these walls. And then lastly, we have our count classification. So for example, we're going to type window type A, change this to rectangle, change the shape. Now again, our output quantity. So not only do we want to count our windows, but perhaps we also want to get our area and square footage and the perimeter for our window trim. And here we're going to enter 5 feet 5 for our dimensions. You enter that under width and length. And then you click save. Now every time I have a window type A, I click into it. And you can see that not only is it counting it for me, but it's also gathering the square footage and the perimeter for my window trim. So the whole concept I wanted to get at creating these classifications is that you can change these output quantities to find specifically that data that you're looking for.
I see.
And now all of this was done manually, and it's perfectly fine to do it manually. But it's very tedious work and it's very time consuming to do all of this manually because there's so many clicks that you have to do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a huge selling point that we have this toggle button, because it can automate all those clicks for you. Right, so Toggle will create an automatic takeoff with all features, including areas, lines, and counts. So let's go ahead and run all features and click go. So there you go. Instead of having to go ahead and click all these buttons, Toggle just did it for us. So that just saved us like, I don't know, another hour maybe or two.
Oh, easily too. Yeah, for sure.
So everything that you see here in our right hand side are all layers. So I turned on all the layers at once, and you can see how overwhelming this is to look at.
Yeah.
We don't even know what line is what or what area is what, so it's very hard to tell what's going on. And so it's very important to isolate these layers when you're working on them specifically. And to do so, like it says right there in that pop-up, it says Control plus click to isolate. So you hold Control on your keyboard and you click on the eyeball to isolate only that one layer.
Nice.
So this footprint that was given to us by the toggle button is what's used for the slab on grade, for example.
Right.
Because it's going in between the walls, you know, it'd be silly for us to put slab on grade only in between the walls. And like there's no foundation on these walls.
Yeah.
So the footprint will be best used for that. Or perhaps they just want a general understanding of what's the footprint of this building. Then we have our net area. This is the area in between our walls. So everything that's given to us by the toggle button is not the final step. Then it's the responsibility of the estimator to reassign these outputs to our own classifications.
Okay.
It's just like speeding up this process and like measuring this for us, but then we have to reassign it. So if you give this back to the owner and say, hey owner, we have our 17,796 of net area. He's gonna be like, okay, but how much do I have in my comments, my accessible comments? What flooring do I need? You know, so that's when you go into the finish schedule. There you go, finish. Room finish schedules. Yeah, so just to save, okay, I'll show you. So you see one bedroom is going to be receiving CT01. This is carpet. Oh, wait, that's notebook.
So the estimator has to reference these pages and individually like reclassify them or something like that?
Exactly. So it has to reference this page. So for example, for all my standard kings, so you see how it says varies?
Yeah.
This is because this is not 100% drawings.
Right.
It's missing information.
So can it do this for you, this step for you, or no? Like
no, we would just have to go in there and figure it out. But Toggle Chat, you can ask Toggle Chat, like, please give me a detailed summary of this project as it pertains to a flooring contractor, for example.
Yeah.
And it might give you more information as to what different types of floorings are located on which different types of...
Hey, dude, I hate to cut you off, but Dylan's pinging me to get in the meet. I think he's wanting a pregame.
Okay, no worries, bro.
Hey, thank you, dude. Is this recorded?
No, it's not.
I recorded it, just our voices,
Okay.
but that's cool.
Cool, that's perfect.
All right, thank you, Mar. Appreciate you, brother.
No worries, brother. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.